Okay, so can you guys see my screen? Can somebody comment if you can see my screen? Okay, is it like a little screen or a big one? Okay, awesome. This is Josh. Josh, I'm going to introduce him for a little bit. He and I started talking, man, I don't remember even when it was probably around 2012. So I was a brand new coach. We talked about health and fitness on and off. He never joined one of my challenge groups, never bought Shakeology, never fully committed in his journey, but we remained friends over the past 5, almost 6 years. Anyhow, it's kind of similar to like what Keisha just shared on the 30-minute mentor series. Josh reached out to me about a month ago and he's like, Scotty, he's like, I've lost 80 pounds. I've committed to the Beachbody workouts. I've lost 80 pounds. I've overcome a gambling addiction that's totally, completely ruined my life. I decided I was going to change it. So I committed to these workouts and I've lost 80 pounds. He sent me this picture and I'm like, dude, this is incredible what you've done. And so I just immediately started a conversation with him, got on the phone with him, invited him to a Coach Sneak Peek group. He watched it, watched the Coach Sneak Peek group, was very involved in it, watched every video, commented, shared about himself, what he was doing. And then we did a phone call to lead into this, Josh. And Josh has been out of a job for, I believe it was over a year. So he has no income, no money to start this business that he wants to start. And so I just related with him about how I didn't have money to start in this business and I had to go buy and sell things on Craigslist. And I just remember saying, Josh, if you're serious about this, what I know about life, if you put this out there, this is something you want to do, you're serious, you're going to find a way to make it happen. It wasn't even, it surprised me. I thought it'd take a month or so. Like 4 or 5 days later, he's like, I got the money together. I'm ready to do this. I'm going to sign up as a coach. I'm going to tell you, I sent him a new coach email. This is the thing I want you to understand about Josh. I followed up with him the next day. I was like, hey, did you get to watch like the first training video on that email? He's like, I stayed up late last night and I watched every single video. Plus I watched some other videos and I started talking to people and I requested the groups that you mentioned. And I was like, dude, you've done everything. Like, let's set up a phone call. We did our getting started right call. In a half hour's time, I let him know how much he had done. And that's more than most people do, that he's one of a kind for doing all of that without me needing to even follow up. We crafted his story and I was like, okay, Josh, put it out on Facebook. I want you to go Facebook Live and share your story. He did it. And we had him reach out to these people, start sharing with them. And he's calling them, getting them to meet up with them in person. He's sharing his story with them. And he's at Success Club. It's 2 days since he signed up. And he is at Success Club 6 and just sponsored his very first coach. He earned the backpack. And so, Josh, I'm going to ask you just to share a little bit about your story, like how your life was before Beachbody and how it's changed your life so far.
Oh, sure. Hey, everybody. So, anyway, like you said, with my gambling addiction, for 12 years, I had that addiction, and it literally completely ruined my life, ruined relationships with my friends, with my family, and just turned me into a person that, I never thought I would become. So whenever I would go out and gamble and lose a bunch of money, then I would binge eat and I would, drink alcohol to try to make myself feel better for losing the money. And, it just built up over time. And I got up to 295 pounds was my highest. And in August, I woke up one morning and just feeling like crap, just feeling terrible about myself and hating myself for the person I've become. I hated even looking at myself in the mirror because I didn't recognize that person anymore. And so I just decided that's it. So I started eating healthy, changing my diet completely, started drinking a lot of water, and I had these P90X DVDs that I've had for a couple years, and they were just laying around my room collecting dust. So I was like, hey, let's throw in one. So I threw in the cardio one first. I was like, yeah, I think I can do this. And I was so out of breath, so out of shape. I was jumping around it seemed like a beached whale. I was jumping around, and I couldn't handle what they were doing on the screen, but I gave it my best. And then here we are in April, and I have lost, right now I weighed this morning, I've actually lost 85 pounds.
Woo!
And I feel like a new man. And my goal now is I have been out of a job for over a year. With this business, what I'm trying to get out of this is I cannot afford to fail. I will not fail. And I'm going to push myself to be the best I can. And the thing that's pushing me the most is not only my transformation, but is to start transforming other people's lives, because I know what it's like to have been in the gully and to just be miserable with yourself. So I want them to experience what I'm feeling right now, which is a super high, a super new life, and I'm so excited to be part of the team now. And yeah.
That's awesome, Josh. Dude, I was getting emotional listening to you talk about how you felt about your life before, and just knowing how much you've done over the past, since August of last year. So we just want you to know that we're all super proud of you for what you're doing and for your example. We just want to get a couple of tips from you as a brand new coach. Obviously, you're studying the plan, you're watching the videos, but you're taking action because you're at Success Clubs. You've already helped 3 people get started. I can hear clearly in your voice and conviction that this is not about you anymore, that it's about helping other people, which I think is important to know. But what are you like? Tell us how these conversations went. How did you help some people get started on their transformation? I know you started 3 people on the Beachbody Challenge, or All Access Challenge pack. You got 3 people started, 1 as a coach. Like, how did you do that? What are you doing?
Well, when I started, I just started posting my story on Facebook, because it can reach a lot of people, and I was just blatantly honest and put my before picture, which I absolutely cannot stand anymore to look at, and then I put my after picture where I've lost weight, and I've just been completely honest with people, and put my story out there, how I was feeling and stuff like that, and miserable. And I made that Facebook Live video and just spilled my heart out from where I was and what I was battling, and I've just been honest with people, and a lot of people have contacted me saying they're going through some of those same issues, and they want to change. I'm not the type of person. I'm not really selling to these people and shoving it down their throats, because when we go anywhere, we don't like people to just sell and sell and sell, because you're going to tune that person out. But I'm just being open and honest with them, inviting them into a new life from what I have now, and just being real. No one likes a fake, and something I think about is, some of the commercials for different things we see on TV, they're like fake dramatizations and people not being real. If they would show real people's lives and real changes there, I think it would make a big difference in this world. So I've just been real, and I've been able to reach out to 3 people, and I'm being persistent, holding them accountable, and I promised them as soon as I started talking with them that I would be with them throughout their entire journey, and I will not leave them until they reach their goals.
I love that, man. It's all about kind of like what Keisha talked about on our call today, about being authentic, being real. People can sense that. Believe it or not, you must be authentic and real. So I'm going to ask you, so you're talking to these people, you're being real with them, you're being honest with them. You're not trying to sell a product. You're sharing with them a new lifestyle, and they can feel that. So my question, in 2 days, have you faced any objections or rejections or haters, whatever you want to call it, anything like that yet?
Yesterday I had one opposition, and I started talking about the program and the special we have going on, and then of course when I got to the price, I said 160. They're like, 160. I was like, well, if you think about it, I said, first of all, what is the price of your health? And I started talking to them about how much money do you waste on other things that you don't need, that doesn't benefit your life? And then I told them, you only get one life. And if you don't take care of that, then the other stuff in life you're not going to have to worry about. And then I broke the price down for them. I was like, if you take 160 and divide it into 30 days, that's like $5.30, some change. I was like, people spend more on fast food combos, spend more on a cup of coffee at Starbucks. So, I mapped that out for them, that's not a lot of money, $5 a day to change your life. And that person was like, you know what? that makes a lot of sense. And they admitted that they were blowing money on cigarettes and alcohol and stuff that didn't matter, and they changed their mind. You have to talk to that person and listen to that person. And when they object to a price, don't jump on them like you know everything. You know what I mean? You have to get on their level and talk with them like a human. We're all humans, and we're working for the same goal.
I love that. So, we talked about this a little bit earlier today, but you sympathize with them. And I think it's important because you've been so open and honest about your struggles, about not having a job, about gambling addiction, that because you were open and honest, it opened them up to be honest about where they were failing in their life with cigarettes or spending money on alcohol. So I think that's an important part that everybody gets. And then just breaking it out for them. And then it goes back to like you being the proof of products work too. Like you have your transformation, you have your story that they can see. So that's truly there as well. So I'm going to ask you one last question, and then we're going to let everybody go because I have a coach business opportunity meeting, a lunch meeting with somebody. But my question for you today, Josh, is where do you see yourself going with what you're doing with Team Beachbody in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I don't want to be Scotty Hobbs. I want to be Joshua Khalil, but I want to be a top male Beachbody coach within the next few years. And me and you have talked about my goals, and I want to end up changing thousands of lives with my hard work and my proof and my story. That's where I want to be a top coach.
I love that. So one thing I want you guys to know as we let Josh go, he wrote out specific goals about what he wanted to do. His specific goal, I want to put this out there. His specific goal is to help 10 people in his first month get into a challenge pack. So because he set a goal for this year about how many people he wants to help. We broke it down into how many months are left in this year and how many people he needed his help get started per month. And he's going after it, showing us that he's going to go after that goal by helping 3 already in his first couple of days. So he's committed to helping them. And what I love about it is he says, I'm going to be there for them throughout this whole journey, and that example to him. So Josh, we want to say thank you. We're proud of what you're doing, and thanks for sharing those thoughts with us today. And everybody that's on this call, we'll see you guys in the team pages and on social media. We'll see you guys all later.